Big breaking story from the Supreme Court. The top court of India has dismissed the SBI's plea in the electoral bonds case and asked the number one bank in the country, as they called it, to furnish all the data by end of day tomorrow. The Supreme Court has said that the SBI has to disclose this data by the 12th of March, which is tomorrow, end of day, and has also directed the Election Commission of India to publish all these details by the 15th of March, 5 p.m. There were hectic parleys in the Supreme Court between the petitioner's lawyer Harish Salve, who was arguing for the State Bank of India, as well as the Chief Justice of India and the Constitution bench. We'll get you all the details of what transpired in court. But Prashant Bhushan, who's the petitioner in this, who's the lawyer for the petitioners in the case, has just reacted to the judgment. Let's listen in.
Supreme Court has taken a tough stand on the State Bank's application for extension of time till 30th June to disclose details about the donors of electoral bonds as well as the parties which redeemed those electoral bonds. The court has dismissed the application of the State Bank, pointing out that the data that the court had asked them to give is already available with the State Bank. According to their own affidavit, they have to just submit the details of the donors on the one hand and the details of the parties which redeemed the bonds on the other hand. State Bank was saying we have to do the cross-matching, etc. Court has said you don't need to do the cross-matching, just give these details to the Election Commission and you have to give it by tomorrow. And thereafter, they have said that the State Bank chairman should file an affidavit to this effect. They are not yet taking any contempt action, but they may have to if the State Bank doesn't comply. They have also said that the Election Commission should publish all these details which have been given by the State Bank about the donors and the parties which have received the bonds by 15th of this month. And also the earlier details which were supposed to be given by political parties to the Election Commission about the bonds received by them, even those details have to be published by 15th of this month. So it's a very good, strong judgment in consonance with the earlier strong judgment that the court had given on electoral bonds.
And my colleague Sunil Prabhu, who's been tracking all the details of this big story from the court, is joining us live. Sunil, break it down for us. What is this judgment of the Supreme Court essentially mean? What all has the court said?
Well, this is a big day for transparency, accountability and probity in public life. These are, clearly the State Bank of India has been put on notice. Not any small assistant general manager who has filed the affidavit, but the chairman managing director. If he fails to do it tomorrow of disclosing by 5 o'clock, the Supreme Court of India, the highest court of this country, will initiate, what they call a case for contempt of court, willful default. So he has been told very categorically, and the Election Commission, which has now come under greater scrutiny because of the shadow of the appointment of the resignation of Mr. Arun Goyal, has been told by 5 p.m. tomorrow on the 15th, they will have to publish it on the website. So this entire country will know all those who benefited in terms of electoral bonds, political parties, who were the donors. They don't need to match it. The State Bank of India's, grouse through Harish Salve was that we have to, correlate the two. We need time till the 30th of June. We'll comply. And now they have been told, irrespective, you just put the details. There are enough of people who can do the data crunching and go ahead with the entire process. So this is really a big setback for the State Bank of India, for the government in particular, which had asked for, through the State Bank of India for more time. I spoke to a top finance official who was present in the court. He said that it's now for the State Bank of India to comply. They were the ones who were giving the issue and the problem. Now they will have to do so. So, in fact, as you heard Mr. Prashant Bhushan, he didn't even have to argue before the Chief Justice of India and the Constitutional Bench. The Chief Justice, as well as the other judges, were really hell-bent on taking on the State Bank of India for non-compliance. Why do you need we hadn't done anything for 26 days. It was clearly very, they had come down heavily, saying that, you cannot not adhere to our order. And it's in that context that as the country gets ready for the, an election in the Lok Sabha, those details will now have to be made public.